NFL 23.
With Mount right here in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin here alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Seahawks in this matchup. The bottom line, there are not many defenses in the league that seem up to the task to slow down their ground game. But this might be one of them, and in everything that they have said and done this week, they feel confident that they're ready.
And I like how you set this whole thing up because it comes down to this to me. These first few carries, they're going to be exciting, they're going to be physical, they're going to be battles. Each side trying to establish control in this game.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of Lockett. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They'll try for the first with Walker, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Dances by him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Quite fun to have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. From just shy of midfield, Burrow. His throw incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first. And they'll send the tight end in motion. First down. Here's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Oh, you went 3 and out.
Now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. From the 27, Mayfield, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. And Walker has it. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. That's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, that's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The Bengals at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit in the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd and goal, Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals. J.K. Dobbins from 3 yards out. And the Bengals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold it to just a yard.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing. Mayfield being chased out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now, it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
He's up to the 20, and he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. From the gun again to Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. In motion goes the tight end. They snapped that at 1. Now it's Burrow. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Oh, look at the juke. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Walker to start the drive. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Straight ahead, Walker. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Mayfield now from the 50. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. This is intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down. Back in his own 6-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting it back on the sand.
Well, that's what they have to do more defensively, not just getting sacks. We have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On third down, Mixon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now it's Lockett. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Bengals drive about to get going. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's Burrow. He's got Chase on the comeback route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. Burrow will throw. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. Under pressure, they got him again. Darrell Taylor got him there to drop him. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them. Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options and throws it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. In motion, the tight end. On 2nd and 10, Burrow. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Joseph Osai. He's the culprit, dropping in for a 2-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll look to set up his blockers. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. In motion comes the tight end left. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Again, it's Mixon. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. They'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Here we go.
Mixing up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Chris Barnes there on the stop. Jet sweep. Boyd with it. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Defensively, they have that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Derwin James with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception. They got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Back now in Seattle, Washington. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This pass complete to Higgins. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, play. That's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
A handoff to Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Jet sweep, Boyd with it. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Third and goal. Burrow. Touchdown. Jamar Chase. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Bengals are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself,
We've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Third and long for Mayfield. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Not wasting time, going right back to DK Metcalf. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Mayfield. He'll take a shot for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. 42 yards. And the Seahawks are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead's down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Again, it's Mixon. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Going for it on 4th. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Holding, offense.
And that's on Jackson Carman, second-round pick in 2021. A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Another try for Mixon. Running right, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed